from class today, and today I'm going to tell you a presentation on a very interesting topic that's about vascular plants. You know that there are many trees present in our environment and in our surroundings which play an important role. Trees provide us oxygen and we give them carbon dioxide by which we are able to survive. And if we will cut these trees by deforestation, then enough oxygen will not reach our body and we can die. So we should stop deforestation, start afforestation. Vascular plants, large, huge and big trees made up of different bundles which is required to make the tree and branch of this woody plant. You know that tree is a huge woody plant which consists of a huge black color trunk or brown color trunk. Trees are mainly of two types. First one is the conifers and deciduous. Based on their shape, based on their formation, how they are formed, based on their climatic change where they can survive, they are divided into two types. First one is the conifers and second one is the deciduous. These both are trees, but they are different in the formation, different in the changes in the fruits and flowers in the trees. So first of all we will discuss about conifers. So these are those type of trees which grow in the cold places like Antarctica on the peaks of the mountains where there is snow during the winters. Okay, where there is snow during the winter, that is the perfect climate for them to survive. Their leaves, where there is snow in the winter, they can survive in that type of place. Their leaves are like needle-like pointed in order to prevent the loss of water. Because in those areas like Antarctica, that's a cold place, and most of the water remains frozen. So they do not get enough water. So they have pointed leaves in order to prevent the water loss, in order to store water, and they can use water. They can store water in their leaves for enough 10 to 20 days, and between the 10 to 20 days, they can use the water to drink and they can survive. These conifers, these are those types of trees which do not produce flowers. Instead, they bear cones. These remain evergreen throughout the year. In those type of cold places, only conifers remain evergreen throughout the year because they have shallow roots and dropping branches, and their dropping branch can fall every time on animal. Also, these coniferous trees, I told you, these are shallow roots, and they do not allow these shallow roots as well as these dropping branches did not allow the snow which falls in those cold places like Antarctica to settle on them. When it gets settled on them, the snow gets silted away and it falls down. So they have shallow roots as well as they have the dropping branch which fall all the snow and does not allow snow to settle on these type of plants that are conifers. I told you already they do not bear flowers because in those type of areas it's very difficult to survive, and they have these special kind of features by which they are able to survive. This is a big thing. But they do not bear flowers. Instead they bear cones. Cones, it's very easy for them to bear because they remain in the cold areas. But flower is for them to bear or produce is so difficult, and it's a very hard task for them. And it requires, if any one plant can produce flowers, it requires more than 10 years to produce flowers. Now second type of tree, it is the deciduous tree. Deciduous trees are also called the broad-leaved trees. Their leaves, I can say, they are huge, massive. And in autumn season, they shed their leaves close. They shed their leaves together. They close their leaves because in those type of climate, the change in the atmosphere continuously takes place. The water supply to these leaves, which is enough for these plants or the tree to survive or to live, is cut. The water supply to the leaves of the deciduous trees is unable to reach there because in weak water supply is cut, and enough water does not reach to the leaves of the deciduous trees. In summers, they easily bear flowers. They easily produce flowers. They do not bear cones because their climate is not these cold places like Antarctica. They do not bear cones. Instead, they produce flowers. They produce beautiful flowers which are of different colors, and one color I can say they are blue in color. And in summer, those blue color plants, or we can say leaves, get converted or changed into the tasty fruits. Then these people take out the fruits and start eating because these are so tasty. And deciduous plants, when they produce many flowers of different colors, then these flowers get changed into the new fruit that is eaten by the that is ate or eaten by the different people are called deciduous plants. Now in simple you can keep remember that the conifers are those types of trees which they have the climate change in their atmosphere due to the cold places, and deciduous trees are simply the opposite of conifers which grow in the warm places and they produce flowers. Instead they do not bear cones. This was all about my today's topic, that was about the vascular plants, and I hope you have liked my today's presentation. Thank you.